Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlan, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Chris Vermeulen from the TechnicalTraders.com. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Chris, the equity markets, they've been strong lately. What's happening now?
Yeah, there's been some interesting price action going on. I mean, we're in this really strong bounce or rally, whichever you want to call it. I tend to feel as though this is a bear market rally, but I mean, in terms of where we are in a bull and bear market, we're kind of in no man's land right now. And this week is a kind of an important week for the overall markets. We've had the NASDAQ testing a resistance level, and the SP 500 is testing a short-term double top here today, this week. And what's interesting is all the news is finally turning positive here. So we saw this massive rally off the lows in March, and it was on the back of a lot of negative news and uncertainty. And now the market today, for example, gapped higher after yesterday's strong day with $500 billion getting put into stimulus again, another batch of money. Market rallied, and today the stock market gapped higher above resistance, above a high from a week ago. And huge selling volume stepped in today and started to sell the price down. And we haven't seen this strong of selling volume in a while. So it's going to be interesting to see how today plays out, because it's kind of that when the news is all good and everyone feels like they're buying and the markets are testing resistance and poking to new highs, it's usually a negative sign on the market. It's a contrarian play. When everybody's doing the same thing and feeling good, usually there's one way to go, and that's usually downward. So this is going to be, I think, a pivotal week in the stock market, and how today closes or this week for the SP 500 could really signal the start of either a new bull market starting to rally, or it could be the start of another dip. Maybe it could be a double dip.
Is there positivity because so many jurisdictions now are talking about partial reopenings, at least in May?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think there's a kind of a trifecta in terms of stimulus. It just continues to get pumped into the market. We've got the talks of companies, states, cities starting to ease on what businesses are going to be doing here in May, that certain business can open up a bit more activity. Obviously, that has got people feeling really good, business owners and people needing to get out for mental health reasons, because people are getting pretty cooped up in these homes and apartments. And then on top of it, spring is in the air. So we've got the sun, we've got the heat, and, I think it's got people feeling really good. And this is kind of what happens this time of year. It's that you usually see the markets do fairly well right now, and then we see that big sell-off in May, So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out going forward. But right now, people are feeling good. The markets are moving up, and I mean, it's generally a sign that things are actually getting a little overextended and ready to go in the opposite direction.
Any sign that we could see the typical sell in May go away?
I think we will. I mean, the markets may grind their way and continue to move a little higher. I think the SP 500 has potential to get to that 3,000 to 3,100, 3,200 area, which is still a pretty good hike higher from where we are. But I have a feeling they're going to ease off on businesses. People are going to get back out there, and then we're going to start to see a spike in the virus be taking off again. And I think things are going to have to get toned back, and I think that could spark another big leg to the downside. Not only will it scare people for health reasons, but also now business owners and anyone in the financial market's going to go, oh boy, now they're going to tighten back up. Businesses have to close down again. Here we go, round two. And so it's going to be bad for the next quarter earnings. And then we're going to see this double dip potential. So I have a feeling it could be later in May. But I have a feeling we're going to see that the virus potentially flare back up, and it's going to spark the next kind of move down. And the question is, how far down is the market going to go?
Yes, well, they're saying the sooner businesses reopen, actually, the bigger the chance of a rebound, and then they'll close it down again. So perhaps stay closed for 6 weeks or 8 weeks instead of trying to reopen quicker.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the best scenario is, to be honest, and I don't know how much of the virus has been really figured out yet. So, I mean, I'm playing strictly with the price action and what I think is going to unfold. And I mean, we're not going to know until they ease off on business and people start getting back together and doing business with other people who potentially have the virus. And I mean, I was speaking with somebody who they had the virus and they've had it and they got over it 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they still tested positive. So you could be over it, thinking it's gone, and you're still contagious. It's a major concern.
Right, and of course, testing in places like Iceland and a German city found half the people who have the virus don't know they have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it so deadly. It's not like SARS where you've got it's very aggressive, and you know you're sick when you have it, so you just quarantine those who are showing the signs. This virus is you have no idea that you even have it, and you've just mingled and shared food with all kinds of different people, and you've just spread it not knowing. And that's why this one is just so much more contagious, because people go out feeling perfectly fine, spreading it everywhere.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Cypress Development Corp. is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp. trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, Recycling Trade Publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, what's going on with gold? Is it still as popular as it has been the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, I mean, it's popular. I think a lot of people are kind of disappointed in gold and miners and silver really the last little while. Obviously, the sell-off in March put a big dent in the whole sector. And the only real metal moving higher out of gold, silver, and miners is gold's been pushing up to multi-year highs. It's testing major resistance. It looks really strong, and it's been the leader really for almost a year. It broke into a bull market last summer, and it's just been trucking its way higher. Right now, it's struggling a little bit, but overall the pattern's still very bullish, and it's on the verge of a big move. I like gold a lot. I think a lot of attention is starting to turn towards the gold miners. The large cap gold stocks seem to be set up the best for the next move. Generally, you would think the large caps aren't going to be the favored kind of asset class. Usually go for the juniors. But overall, I mean, the market always does what you least expect. I mean, I think everyone was expecting silver to be the big mover, and it's the dog. But everyone's expecting gold juniors to be the leaders and take off, and they've been the dog as well. They're not even close to breaking into a bull market just yet. Neither is silver yet. The large caps and boring, slow-moving gold is already, they're both in a bull market zone right now, bull market phase. So, the market always has a way of trying to, move the asset that you're not expecting to. And I find it really interesting how that works.
Are China and Russia still snapping up all the physical gold they can find?
I'm not sure. I would think so. I don't follow what they do too much, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. With silver, California just passed a law saying all new homes have to have solar panels. Is that good news for silver in the long run?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's quite a bit of silver used in the panels, and I mean, I think the whole solar side of things is still in the infancy stage. I think it's going to really take off more and more as time goes on. So silver's got a lot of potential industrial-wise. I mean, there's the group of people out there that think it's manipulated and it's been held down, and same with gold. And is it true? Possibly, but I mean, the real thing is we just really have to just follow price. When it comes to the markets, the only way we make money is if the price moves in our favor. And silver's been struggling. I mean, it got beat up pretty bad, going from 19 down to 11.50 only in a few weeks, and now it's back to 15. I mean, when it can break that $19/$20 mark, I think it could be off to the races. And I'm going to really like it when it breaks into a bull market. I think it'll be a lot like I think it was 2010 when it rallied from, I think it was $19 to $50. So I think there's a lot of potential, but I like to focus on sectors that are in a bull market in a clear phase, like the large caps and gold itself.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Aben Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Aben's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at abenresources.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, what's going on with natural gas?
Yeah, natural gas it's been under pressure for quite a while, and it's starting to look really exciting down at these levels. All the signs are there that it's trying to put in a very significant bottom. I mean, natural gas made a really significant low at the $1.90 level back in 2012, and then it made another multi-year cycle low down in 2016 at $1.60. And here we are now, roughly the same amount of years later, putting it in what looks to be another major low down at this $1.50 area, and I really like the way the price action has been unfolding over the last about 2.5 months here. The natural gas is forming a rounding formation. It's got increased volatility, meaning the bulls and the bears are struggling for control, and the momentum is shifting to the upside. And natural gas, I think, it very quickly popped to the 220, the 250 level. Currently, it's at 178, so there's quite a bit of upside potential for natural gas. And, I think it's just going to continue to bottom out here and move higher going through the summer.
What's going on with Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoin has kind of fallen off the radar. I mean, it's been moving higher pretty much with the equities. If you were to overlay the SP 500 over it, I mean, it's really moved in sync with what the stock market has done. It really doesn't interest me too much in terms of the price action it has here. It is still in a long-term downtrend. It's made a series of lower highs, lower lows. Right now, it's working its way back up, and there's a big price gap on Bitcoin from where it had this big move more or less in the futures market, and went from 9,100 all the way down to this 8,200. So there's almost 1,000-point move in there, and we're getting back close to that level. And usually when you get to a gap window, it becomes resistance. So overall, the price pattern to me in Bitcoin, this bigger price action, looking back a few months, it looks very bearish. I think it's going to run out of steam around this 8,000, 8,200, and it's going to struggle. And if it starts to roll over, I think it could actually be a great play to the downside, because I think it's going to continue to fall out of favor for a while.
Chris, so how would you sum up what's going on right now?
Well, I mean, I think we're in the late stages of a bull market at this point, the early stages of a bear market, and if that is the case, which we're going to find out in the next probably 3 to 6 or so weeks from now, which way the markets are going to go from a technical standpoint. Are we starting a new bull market? Or are we starting a new bear market? And I think investors really just need to kind of sit tight and let the market trade in this big range from the February highs down to the March lows. Let the market digest and do its thing. You don't need to be in the market all the time. And once it picks a trend, then I think it's going to be off to the races for some huge opportunities. And right now, I think money continues to hold up into bonds. Gold has been holding up because there's a lot of fear still building in the market. So to me, the safe havens are kind of the place to kind of hold the money right now. I think stocks are on the verge of rolling over, and I don't think you want to be caught holding the bag if they do. So kind of cash is king. The safe havens are king right now. And I think it's just about stepping back and reducing exposure for a few weeks until we get a feel for if the markets are breaking higher or rolling over.
Chris, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show, Jim.
My guest has been Chris Vermeulen from thetechnicaltraders.com. If you have any questions for Chris, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.